Hello and welcome everybody to our third session today of our long-term care geriatric learning series. And today we're going to be starting a new topic on how to talk and listen better with residents. Good communication makes residents feel heard and helps us give safer and kinder care. As with our other sessions, we're going to start out with an icebreaker question today. So today's question is, if you could take a vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go and for how long? And please go ahead and feel free to chat in your answer. For myself, Panama is on my short list. I'd like to go for 2 weeks and just rent an SUV and be able to drive the country and just look at all the scenery and meet some of the people.
Oh, that sounds like a great place to go, Jeff. I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is amazing.
And Mira said she would love to go to Europe.
Ah, yes, for sure. How about you, Bethany?
Oh, Bethany said Italy.
Ooh, yeah, wow. I would have a hard time staying away from all the food over there. Any other responses so far?
Yeah, one more said France.
Ooh, nice. Yes, for sure. All right, thanks everybody for sharing. And today we're going to be talking about basic ways to talk and listen so residents feel respected. We're going to be able to see how clear communication ties in with the 5 M's of age-friendly care, especially what matters and mentation. These skills help every day when you're taking care of residents on your shift. These goals help you use easy communication tools right away. Clear talk and good listening builds trust and helps make residents feel calmer and less mixed up. So we're going to start with a little bit of a check-in here from our previous session and try to get an idea of where you're at with your communication. So what was your biggest communication challenge last week? Again, go ahead and please put your responses right in the chat.
Bethany said asking for help is always a hard thing and a huge communication barrier.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, because we want to make sure we're showing we're competent, but at the same time, there are times when we have to get help to cover up and help assist with our areas that we're not strong in.
That's right. And I'll just share an experience I had last week with my own father. He refuses to get hearing aids. Actually, he has an old pair, but he won't wear them. And so I really have to speak really loud for him to hear me, which I often just find myself hollering so loud that he can hear. And I feel bad because I'm yelling. And so it's really frustrating to communicate with him.
Yeah, that's a challenge. What else are you seeing in the chat, Carrie?
One more comment. Caring for a resident, and there were a lot of family members in the room making noise, and so that individual wasn't able to hear them.
Yeah, that can be difficult because we want to make sure that the residents are getting family support, but sometimes it can really cause a barrier with that communication is trying to take place between you and the resident. So yeah, absolutely. Age-friendly care means doing the right things for older adults every day. The 5 M's help guide daily care choices. As CNAs, your daily cares are part of what matters. Good communication helps you listen to what residents want and keeps their mood and memory clearer. Your eyes and ears have the power to make care safer and also much more personal. So here's another quick check-in. Which part of the 5 M's listed on the screen do you feel shows up the most when you're communicating with a resident? Go ahead and chat in your answer, A, B, C, D, or E. There are no wrong answers to this question.
Jeff, we have kind of a hodgepodge here. You have one for mobility, one medication, one with complex needs, what matters, mentation, specifically, those complex dementia patients that really have trouble understanding or interpreting what you're trying to communicate with them.
Yeah, and each one of these can come into play at different times when we're communicating with others. Today, we're going to be focusing on how that communication connects to specifically what matters and mentation. Communication is more than just words. Verbal means what you say and how you say it. Nonverbal means your face, body, and tone. Simple words and a friendly face help residents understand and feel respected. These easy steps work every day. Speaking slowly and facing the person helps them hear and understand you better. Listening shows that you care about what they say. And just kind of as a side note, some individuals who are hard of hearing have also been able to learn to read lips. So that's why it's especially important to be able to face that individual. Many residents have trouble hearing or remembering. These small changes make it easier for them to join the conversation and also feel included. The repeat back method is a simple way to check understanding. It helps catch mistakes before they happen and make sure the residents know what's going on. Good communication can stop small problems from getting bigger. When you stay calm and show you understand how they feel, residents often calm down much faster. And this is true for any interaction that you're having with any person. So now we're going to hear from our panelists, who today are Mira Doglid from Missouri Slope in Bismarck and Natasha Needham from St. Luke's Home in Dickinson. And I think we will start with Mira today. So Mira, we're going to ask you, and what I'd like to find out, think about one time when good communication helped you or a resident. What is a simple tip that worked for you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Mira, loud and clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had some trouble earlier. So, in my experience, sometimes it's very hard to communicate with people who are affected by stroke, and communication is not very clear. It comes sometimes in a few words or just a gesture, and you really need to focus on the person, make that eye contact, and make by doing that you build trusted relationship. And then you make sure that you know your resident history. I had a resident who had stroke, and his one side was affected, and he used to come out on the hallway and go towards clear utility room with the empty tube of Fixodent, that dangerous glue. And people will just go in and get him a new one, only he will be very frustrated and go back in his room, and he will empty that in the garbage can, and then come out and be frustrated even more. So one day he always trusted me, and we always had great relationship. I always find a way to help him, and through different things, trying everything, and never give up. And I took him back to his room, and he was pointing on his dangerous case. And he was saying, no, no, no. Only he was trying to communicate all those times with everyone that he doesn't want that bad and dangerous, and that no amount of glue doesn't help to keep them in place. And he's fine with those his own teeth, what he has left. So once when I figured that out, and I asked him, so you don't want those anymore? He goes, yeah, and you can see in his eyes that frustration is gone, and he felt heard, and his needs were met, and it was success. That's all I have.
That was really a great observation. That's something that most people, including myself, would have missed. But because you were persistent and you made the effort, you made eye contact, you followed good communication steps, you were able to discern the root cause of the problem and find out this is not about the Fixodent tube being empty. This is about this gentleman not feeling like his dentures were working for him. So, wow, what a great story. And just, how you explained how it made him feel heard. He was not frustrated anymore, and he was able to see and understand that he finally got his point across after many attempts. So, wow, what a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Natasha, are you with us today?
I think we may have lost Natasha, but I do have a story I could share. And I think that this just brings up another important point, that people that are hard of hearing often they'll do lip reading. And so to Mira's point, getting in front and getting down to a level that they can see you and then just making sure that you're enunciating clearly so that they are able to read your lips if they truly cannot hear at all.
Absolutely. And some people have become quite expert at it. And I have had experience with a couple of patients when I used to work in the hospital environment that were so good at lip reading, it was hard to tell that they had a hearing loss issue.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
Yeah. So Mira, I've got one other question for you. What are some of the other communication challenges that you face with some of the residents that you're working with?
Well, sometimes if they are on some medication or something, and they have like hallucinations, or they see something in the room but is not real, like people visiting, people just coming through this door and going, and it's hard to redirect them. My mainly focus is always to make sure, ensure them that they are safe, that no one is here that can hurt them or do anything to them. They are safe and they are well taken care of. And I am here for them. Even they get sometimes so frustrated, like, how you don't see that little girl is just looking at me all the time and she needs to be fed. And people always cared for people and they had great life out there. And I always make sure to tell them, so we fed the children already and everyone is taken care of. Now I am here to take care of you. Just safety is very, very important for those people, and it's always my first priority.
That's a great story as well, too. Making sure that as a CNA, you stay calm and really focus on the safety and the security of that individual. And sometimes with people who have dementia or even have some confusion, like you say, due to medications, it really isn't tied to dementia. They can be so convinced that what they see is real that the best thing to do is, like you explained, you just go with it. You take your time, you stay calm, you communicate clearly with them, you don't argue or disagree with them. You just make sure that they know that things are going to be taken care of. They're going to be taken care of in the right way, and they're going to be taken care of in a timely manner. So, another great story. I can give a story myself of a time that I was dealing with an individual in an assisted living facility. And even though I'm not a CNA, I was a son dealing with my mother who was having some hallucinations of things that weren't really happening. And having to just making sure that I would stay calm, that I talked to her, talked through the issue, and then just reassured that what she was wanting to be done was going to be done, did calm her down and help her be able to just let go and basically disconnect from that hallucination she was having. So that can be a very, very challenging situation. All right. Thank you so much, Carrie and Mira, for sharing those excellent stories, those excellent examples of how this concept of good communication really helps improve the care that we're giving to the people that we're taking care of. Okay, now we're going to move into the quiz part of our session. And we've got 3 questions that I'm going to ask about communication. And what we'd like you to do is just go ahead and think about the question for 30 seconds or a minute, and then go ahead and put your answer right on in the chat. So first question is, when a resident seems confused, should you talk louder or slower and clearer? Go ahead and put your answers right in the chat.
Well, it's looking like our answers are unanimous, slower and clearer, so that they can process what you are saying without thinking you are angry.
Absolutely, great answer. And just because the resident's confused doesn't mean they have a hearing problem. And I think so often that it's just kind of an automatic default that we choose to talk louder first as a solution, rather than thinking about, okay, maybe we just need to talk slower and clearer. So great answer. Second question, is it better to ask 2 questions at once or one at a time? Again, go ahead and take a minute, think about this, put your answer in the chat. And this, as my wife will tell you, is one that I'm very guilty of.
It's looking like our participants are saying one at a time.
Correct. We all need time to process. And 2 questions or more at once just leads to confusion. And is even worse for someone who may already have issues with feeling confused. Okay, question 3 and our final question. True or false? Repeating back what you said can prevent mistakes. And this means asking the resident to repeat back what you said to them. So again, just take a minute or so and pop your answers in the chat.
It looks like everyone is saying true.
Yes, this one is true, because by asking the resident to repeat back, you can get an idea of what they were able to understand and comprehend. There may be a situation where you may need to repeat back to them a second or even a third time what you were asking them or what you were telling them. So yes, absolutely true on this particular question. All right, well, we really appreciated the end of you all for attending today's session. And to wrap up, our key point today is that simple communication skills help residents feel heard and help make your work as CNAs much smoother.